I'll never forget when our house was haunted. And I feel like black people don't talk about it enough, but we be having haunted house stories as well. And I didn't know until I got older that when you become an adolescent, that's when the spirits like to feed on you the most. We stayed in this house in Atlanta, Georgia. We stayed in Adamsville. If you know, you know. But we was in this house, and God damn it, ever since we had moved in the house, I had been just experiencing stuff. But my mama never fucking believed me. She thought I was playing. So my first instance, when I first moved in the house, I had moved in the house when we was in 5th grade. We stayed all the way into that house until I graduated high school. When we first moved in the house, I told my mama, like, it's a little girl in the kitchen. She got like a red balloon or whatever. She just thought I was playing. So that became the joke for about a year. About a year goes by, ain't no problems with the house. But the next year, 6th grade, this when I was turning, 11 or 12, becoming into that preteen adolescent stage, I started seeing shadow figures like down the hallways and stuff like that. And every time I told my mama something like that, she'd chop it up and be like, this is the house of God, and ain't no spirits in here, I rebuke you, this, that, and the third. But I'm like, nah, you think I'm bullshitting. I don't know what you thinking, but you think I'm bullshitting. I know that for a fact. That was when I first started seeing the shadow figures. 7th grade is when I had my first cycle. And I'm telling you, I'm just not finding all this stuff out when I got older. When you start having your period and stuff like that, that's when I guess like the adolescence really comes into, and that's when the spirits want to take over you the most. Chilling in bed. I always had my own room because I'm the only girl. Chilling in the bed. I got 2 twin size beds in my room. I would combine them to make one big bed, but this particular time I put one bed on this side, one bed on the other side, just in case I had company. I'm in the bed. My bed is by the door. I'll never forget it. 12:18 at night, my bed just started shaking. I'm asleep. My bed just started shaking. I could feel it shaking, like rocking back and forth, rocking back and forth. So I'm like, what is going on? But it's like I can't speak. It's like I'm trapped. And no, it wasn't no sleep paralysis. I didn't see no sleep paralysis demon. I'm watching my bed. I'm watching me actively shake in this bed in real time. I wasn't stuck, but it's almost as like my screams was not heard, because nobody heard that shit. I finally get let out like a big old scream. My mama comes. She like, what's wrong? What's wrong? So I'm like, something was just shaking my bed. Mind you, the heater was next to my cover. Next thing I know, me and my mom step out the room, the cover gets set on fire. And it wasn't no kerosene heater. It was just a heater. My cover just went up in a blaze. And she chopped it up to the heater and shit like that. But I'm like, no, something was just shaking my bed. Of course, she prayed over me and all this, that, and the third with the church and stuff like that. And I'm a firm believer in God. But it's like I could not fight them motherfuckers off. That went on for years. This 2 particular shadow figure used to bother me all the time. It would come in my room. It would stand over me. All kind of crazy stuff. We never knew the history of the house. So it just so happened that my mom ended up getting cool with the neighbors across the street. I never forget it. Her name was Tiffany. She ended up getting cool with Tiffany. Tiffany and her kids needed somewhere to go. So my mom let them, they paid her to stay there for a couple months or whatever. She told us how her granddaddy used to live in our house, right? She telling us the story. She's like, y'all ain't never heard what happened in this house? So I'm like, nah, tell us what's happening in this house. This lady proceeds to tell us that her granddaddy used to live in this house and he was bombed. You know what? Honorable mention. I should mention this before I tell y'all the story. Before this story happened, right before this lady moved in with us, literally a week before this lady moved in with us, me, my mama, my brother, and my other brother. I got 2 brothers, a mom, and me. We sitting in the living room. We was watching Reba on that big flat screen with the big back then, the one that sit on the ground. We seen a shadow. We seen somebody walk across the porch, and it's almost as if they entered the house. Top hat on, trench coat on. We could see the shadow of that. Nobody ever knocked on the door. Nobody ever came through the door. That's the first time my mama and my brothers actually believed what the fuck I saw. And if I'm lying, I'm flying. Right after that, this lady moved in our house and she tell us that her granddaddy stayed in the house and that his house was bombed and went up in flames and he died sitting in the living room with his top hat and trench coat on. I I ain't lying, y'all. I promise to God I ain't lying. That shit was so goddamn scary because everything after that just became even scarier. We would go in the kitchen, all the cabinets would be flipped open. We'll go in I'll go in the bathroom, all of a sudden the lights just go out. All kind of shit. I'm telling you, the house was cursed. But it's like nobody don't talk about paranormal activity when it come down to black people. We be having haunted houses too. I promise you, when we left that house, everything stopped. Everything stopped. And I think because I got a praying mother and a praying grandmother, like my grandma should come over once a week, anoint the house, stuff like that. That's the reason why they couldn't take over. But I don't know what it was that they was just so drawn to me. And to this day, I still see ghosts. I still feel energy, all kind of stuff. And I know people might think you crazy when you say that, but I'm so for real. That shit is so serious. If I wasn't at work, I'll go get my brother's side of the story. My other brother locked up, so I can't get his side of the story. But I would go get their sides of the story so they could tell you personally that shit happened. We watched that shit happen in real time. Crazy.